Just remind yourself of what you need to do to execute, and shows you how mentally mature and present she is in the match. Amazing. I'm fascinated by this girl.
This player, as much as I respect her and admire what she's done, she gets on my nerves. And I apologize. But she gets on my nerves. And that is Iga Swiatek.
A mature player, and also a reminder that, you know, when you're in a tennis match, you don't have to remember everything by heart. Like, you can take out your notes and look at what you have done.
Daniil Medvedev is the only person in the top 30 that hasn't reached a final in the past 52 weeks. So he wasn't really doing great, but this is not Daniil Medvedev we're used to.
I felt like he could do no wrong.
He played spectacular. It was really...
I did not
this
see
might
this going
be
this way.
the best tennis he's ever played in his life. I don't know. That's the best tennis I've ever seen him play, I think.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the We're Going 5 podcast, powered by TSH Tennis. I'm Yusuf.
Hi, guys. I'm Ismail.
Hey guys, I'm Rune.
Indian Wells is finally over. 2 weeks of so many different stories. It ended the way we expected, Ismail?
Not at all.
No, it did not. We
It
have
was
some,
fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and we saw many different stories that we want to get into. But first off, we need to talk about this man. We just saw him do something spectacular. So the champion of the week, Jack Draper, Ismail, what were your thoughts on this man?
Oh, my God. I was so impressed with Jack Draper today. He absolutely dominated Rune. And given the epic run that he's had this tournament, and we'll talk about that, but I did not expect him to step on the court and dominate the way he did. The last time he played Rune,
So dominant.
he lost in straight sets, 6-2, 6-3. And it wasn't a fair fight, it seemed, last time they faced each other last year in Cincinnati. This time around, Jack Draper brought his big boy pants, and he just took control of the match. He's been moving so well all year, in my opinion, and he moved exceptionally well today. Didn't have any signs of fatigue. He was dominating with the forehand. What I loved about what I saw from Draper today is he just dictated the match. He decided that he's going to play the points on his terms. He's going to take it to Holger. He's going to dominate with the forehand, serve +1 with the forehand. He was coming into the net. He was also throwing in some drop shots. Great variety today. Amazing conviction.
I felt like he could do no wrong.
He played spectacular. It was really...
I did not
this
see
might
this going
be
this way.
the best tennis he's ever played in his life. I don't know. That's the best tennis I've ever seen him play, I think.
Yeah.
And it was clean. It was dominant. He was clutch. He didn't face a break point, I think, all match. He served sensationally well. I was so impressed. He was so aggressive. He was on top of the baseline. He was dictating the points. He was moving Holger left and right. Holger was unable to bother him. He kept running around, getting to his forehand. It was awesome to see. I love his composure all court. We've been talking about his mental maturity. I just loved how he played today. And all tournament, we'll talk about the tournament. I don't know what you guys saw.
But before we move on, Harun, I'm going to pass this on to you, and I want you to warm up, get warm up a bit, because my friend, I'm going to give you your props, because you said we all made our predictions who is going to make it to the top 10 this year and break through. I said Lehechka, for the people that do not know. Ismail, who did you say?
Yeah,
Remind
I said
everyone.
Hurkacz. Yeah.
Hurkacz. And
not
Harun,
looking
you
great.
said Jack Draper.
I did.
So my friend, we're going to give you the floor and enjoy.
Amazing job, Harun. Great job.
I told you guys. I told you Jack Draper. And this is what I saw. Like, he passed my eye test. I saw him progressing slowly but surely. His game kept on improving little by little. And yeah, we kept on talking about, the big weakness that Jack Draper had was his health. And by the way, Rublev, every time they do these ATP quizzes, every time, who's your prediction of the year? I said this before. Rublev kept on picking Draper. So Draper's been the talk that he's supremely talented, and he has every shot.
He has apparently a lot of respect in the locker room. It seems that
everyone respects him.
They're talking about how much respect he gets.
He thought Alcaraz said he woke up, he felt nervous before their match, and Rafa gave him so much props when in 2022 he said this guy's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So the dude's a beast.
I think everyone saw it coming.
he has the fundamentals, and when he came to the tour, he was great, but then he's just like he wasn't able to be consistent. And this guy, by the way, he was playing challengers like less than a year and a half ago. Like he was I wouldn't say grinding through challengers, but he went and decided to go a little bit lower and grind through challengers and develop a consistent form until he became the player who he is today. And that's a very different player than what we saw last year. Even I think it's completely different.
Last year at this specific time, he was ranked 43 in the world, and he's
That's
now
so
up to
impressive.
number 7.
It's so impressive. The rise is so impressive.
That's not a jump. That's a gigantic jump.
It's a gigantic
so
jump
much
on
power,
this
by the way.
super
He moves
competitive
so great.
tour.
He moves great.
really well. I agree. He's
Yeah.
had the he has the firepower. I always thought that theoretically he could bother Alcaraz and Sinner, and lo and behold,
He's beat both.
He's
He's now beaten Alcaraz on grass and on hard, and in Indian Wells where he loves it, and grass, which we all, I think, at least I believe that's Alcaraz's favorite surface, and he was the defending champion. So Jack Draper right now, if this man already was confident in himself, he just couldn't, his body, like you said, Arun, he couldn't stay healthy. But right now, taking down someone like Alcaraz in Indian Wells, winning this tournament, adding a big title to your name, Jack Draper is going to be standing 10 feet tall right now on tour.
He should be super proud of himself. And I want to push back on the injury thing. I don't perceive Jack as a player who gets injured. He's just a player who's run into fatigue issues. Like he's played through in Australia.
No,
Is that
he was-
under the injury umbrella?
Like when
he
you
was-
have
he
to
was
play
withdrawing from a
abdominal
lot of
issue.
tournaments before.
when you
A
play
lot of
three
tournaments he kept
5-set
on
matches,
lockdown.
three 5-set matches in a row, and super gladiator battles. Any normal human
that's
is
a
gonna
unique-
get-
that's
is
a
gonna
unique
get.
instance, but this isn't
the
new.
previous years,
Yeah,
he
this
was-
isn't new.
Yeah, I
is
also
not new.
perceive mainly fatigue issues, and this year it's been fatigue issues, I think. But his coach said that before this tournament was the
just
first
fatigue.
time he's been fully ready to go in a long time.
Yeah, but also we just heard Paul Anico talk about this. He said that Jack Draper's only played 3 tournaments this year, so maybe this is the approach he takes. Is it going to be he's going to play much less tennis?
I don't know if he's going to dominate.
Like we saw, by the way, he decided, when you picked Draper to win Dubai, he decided to drop out of that tournament. Looks like that was an amazing decision by him and his team.
Well, yeah,
Best
because now he's
decision
back
he
to
ever
full
made.
health, and I think he's still a young player, so his body will adapt more. Like he's still, even though he's been on the tour for a couple of years now, these young players take time to adapt. But yeah, maybe he is the kind of player who plays a lesser schedule. I don't know. He's 13-2 this year.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Can we talk about his run?
Amazing run.
So taking
but-
down
but
Fonseca in
before-
his first match, can we
Before-
talk about
bef-
what?
Before talking about run, like you said that he beat Alcaraz on Indian Wells, and he also beat him on grass. He's actually the last person and the only person to do so in the last 3 years, since 2022. Alcaraz has been a beast on grass,
Which
and
gives
also
him loads of confidence.
He was
he's
on a
already
15
he
confident,
has
which
the
means
15 match
it means
win
he's
streak.
confident. Yeah.
and that
15
would
match win
explain why
streak in
Alcaraz
Indian
was
Wells.
nervous all day. Huh? That
Yeah.
would explain why he was nervous all
Yeah,
day.
true. He's one of those guys that he does not like to
Yeah.
face.
And I think he doesn't like to play that lefty power.
Then
But
let's
this is
get
very,
let's
this
go
is
through
very
this.
interesting that the way he plays with a lot of confidence, and he still didn't, do much yet. But like in Alcaraz, for Alcaraz, somebody with
He's
his
23.
accolades,
He's-
for him to be afraid of Draper says a lot about who he is.
Yeah. Well, he made some statements this week, didn't he?
Whew.
First down, taking down Fonseca in 2 sets, and by the way, gave him a bagel.
That was awesome.
Smite, I know you weren't happy with that one.
I mean, I
So
love Fonseca,
he-
but he dominated
he-
Fonseca.
he-
It was impressive.
Yeah.
It was not like a cheap love. It was awesome.
Yeah, he gave Joao welcome to the HB Tour moment. Took down Brooksby in 2 sets after that.
Never
Then
too
took
easy
down
match.
Taylor Fritz in 2 sets, a man who's won this tournament before.
Top 4.
Then takes down Haroon, your boy Benny Schultz. That did not come to fruition. I'm sorry for that, my friend. I wanted it to happen. It did not happen.
but
Then
I-
we know what
I
he did
wasn't
with
upset.
Alcaraz,
I wasn't
and we know what he did with Holger Rune in the final. Well, it's just iconic run. Iconic.
Iconic. That's right now. That has to be the gladiator run of the year. I think
Yeah, he gets a nom for that. That's a nomination.
Yeah, definitely nomination. Like, I'm so impressed with how well he moves, how he leaves everything on the court. His mental composure seems exceptional, and he has the firepower. What can stop him if he's going to play this well?
Yeah, he stands out at the moment. 2025 has been Jack Draper's year. No one other than him has been able to make it to a final at an ATP 500 level or above, which says a lot about him also. So Jack Draper, maybe this is the year. We're going to get into some overreactions or not, so stay tuned for those. Any last words on Jack Draper?
There's not much to improve in his game. His game,
top 10.
yeah, his game. There's not much to improve. That's what's amazing. He has a pretty complete game. If you would say what's left to improve for Draper, maybe the touch, the drop shots in the last game, they were floating a little bit, but probably a little bit tightness. He volleys pretty well. Maybe the volleys are going to get better, but he's already won on grass, so he can do that and he can move forward.
I guess the big test is coming up. What's he going to look like on clay?
On clay, I guess that's going to be
the big question.
But given the way he moves and how he's become such a consistent baseliner, I expect him to do well.
Yeah, it would be. I can't be I need to see it. I need to maybe like see it 2 tournaments or something so I can see. Yeah. And I'm not gonna judge him, but like we need to see this new and improved Jack Draper on clay to know how the next 2 or 3 months are gonna go.
Yeah. But overall, that was excellent.
No, I think he's gonna be fine on clay. I think he's gonna be fine on clay, just fine.
Yeah, let's see. But well, on the women's side of the draw, Yusuf, we had an amazing tournament. And we had an amazing champion. What did you see from the rising superstar?
Did anyone see this coming? 2 weeks ago, everyone knew Mira Andreeva was going to be a star. But she just woke up in the middle of February and decided, I'm going to become a superstar now. It's now.
Yeah.
It's happening now. It's happening now.
I'm here. I'm a superstar now.
Elena Rybakina, hello, bye. Sabalenka, hello, bye. Swiatek, hello, bye. And all of you guys, good night, sleep tight. I'm taking over. This is my time, and my time is now.
Svitolina and Sabalenka.
This woman, by the way, we're going to drop this. She had a similar run to Madison Keys had in the Australian Open. We said that was one of the best runs ever.
Amazing.
So when you go on, so she takes out Rybakina, then she takes out Svitolina, then she takes out Swiatek, and then she takes out Aryna Sabalenka. She's doing things we haven't seen before, man. This is insane. She was down, this doesn't make sense. She was down a set against a woman who has caused her trauma. She's a 17-year-old woman. You're going up against the world number 1 in the final, and you lost the set. Then maybe you fold, like we saw Rune folded. Nope, that was not the case. She came back, won the second set, came back, won the final set, took back-to-back WTA 1000 titles for a 17-year-old.
Amazing.
No one's won this tournament at 17. The last person to do that was Serena Williams in 1999. Mira Andreeva has turned into superstar overnight. This is insane, and I do not know how high she can go, but she can fly.
Oh my God, she's amazing. Also, let's note here, she's taken out Swiatek and Rybakina in back-to-back tournaments.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Insane.
And also, Swiatek, this is like her tournament in Indian Wells.
Yeah.
She's had an amazing win streak, and she ended that. She took it away.
And Iga was just dishing out bagels and breadsticks like it was nothing.
And it all halted.
Andreeva's
like, not here.
I told you guys about you, but...
Yeah,
you did have a point there. I was just thinking about that today.
She ended that. She ended that. And at the same time, she had no reason to believe she could beat Sabalenka. And yet she did. And she came back from a set down to beat her. Unbelievable mental toughness. I love her game. She is an absolutely complete player already at 17. She has the big serve. She hits and moves the ball directionally well from side to side. She's an exceptional mover. She moves forward to the net. She volleys well. She has the forehand and backhand slice. She mixes in the drop shot really well. And she's just an absolute charismatic character on the court. Yeah. When I listen to her speak, I don't think she's a 17-year-old. Yeah. She's so self-conscious and aware of who she is, and she's not overly high on herself, and she's understanding that this is a process. I am amazed by her mental strength and her maturity at such an age. I am such a huge fan. I love to listen to her speak. She's an amazing player.
Yeah.
She's a once-in-a-generation player.
I have nothing else to add. Add on one thing I can add, which is another crazy stat, that she's the third woman in history younger than 18 years of age to take down the world number 1 and world number 2 in a tournament.
Yeah, she's unbelievable.
That doesn't make sense. Her, Steffi Graf, and Serena.
Unbelievable.
Like
That's enough.
she's doing. That's a goat stat.
Yeah, that's
That
goat.
is a goat stat.
That's a goat stat.
And Sabalenka hinted that she has an amazing team around her, and said how I wish if I had a team like the team that you have behind you, I would probably be a different player. And we know who Sabalenka is, so you can imagine that she has the ecosystem around her that is going to propel her to even more success. And I do not want to put more pressure on her, but she's doing things we haven't seen before.
I don't think she feels pressure on Andreeva, or a better way to say it, I think she knows how to handle the pressure really well.
Yeah,
and I am so impressed.
Yeah.
It's
Arun, any final thoughts on Andreeva?
Yeah, also, I just wanted to say, like, for the past few years, we kept on talking about the big three in women's tennis as well, like Iga, Sabalenka, and Rybakina. She beat them all. She beat them all in the same tournament. And Svitolina is also that, has some magic, and she is very tough to beat. And Tosin, who also just won a tournament as well. So it's a stacked run. It's a beast of a run. Yeah, very close to Madsen Key's run as well. But yeah, it's insane. And like I told you guys, she's about Iga though, but Mira Andreeva is a beast. I think she's probably going to be the next world number 1. And don't be surprised if she's going to win a slam or even 2, I would say. Like, it's not... I won't be surprised if she wins, a few more big titles.
One last thing before we move on, and I hinted at this after the Australian Open, about women's tennis. Right now, we had, by the way, in the overreactions are not remembered last week in the segment, we said, is someone outside the top 10 going to win this tournament? We said, no way on the men's side. Carlos Alcaraz, blah, blah, blah. Harun said, yes, because you had Ben Shelton. But on the women's side, we have some consistency, huh? Yeah. We have Iga going deep all the time. We have Sabalenka going deep all the time. Now we have a new superstar in Andreeva. On the men's side, things are looking shaky. So women's tennis has completely flipped the tables, and they have shown the consistency for how many months? Maybe can we say let's say an entire year now? So that's something I believe has changed completely. Yeah. Women's tennis is much more consistent than men's tennis at the moment.
Yeah, and it's been
at
fun.
the top.
It's been fun. It's fun when you have someone, a superstar, come in also.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, let's move on, guys. Well, aside from the champions, we also have some big storylines outside of those big dudes. So you tell me, Harun, start off with you. Who's your biggest winner of the week?
7 Australian Opens, 15 slams.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I have to say it's Daniil Medvedev. I know Daniil Medvedev maybe is not on everybody's radar, and he's, maybe people expect him to have better results, and maybe there are even bigger winners of the week in this tournament. But I just want to say, Daniil Medvedev, he wasn't feeling so confident. This is a Grand Slam winner, Grand Slam champion, and he was feeling down. And he's talked about this. He talked about the more you keep on losing some matches, the less confident you feel in some of these pressure-tight moments. But actually, this has been a great tournament for him, and he's battled really well. He beat some really good players, and he's found his game a bit, and he problem solved so well. So like I told you guys, that amazing win against Tommy Paul, he bageled Tommy Paul, and then he beat Fils. That amazing celebration that he had, that was an amazing match.
Great match.
So funny, and it's so awesome. Everybody was so happy. I feel for him because he was also happy, and he rarely has these nice reactions. But he's, Daniil Medvedev is the only person in the top 30 that hasn't reached a final in the past 52 weeks. So he wasn't really doing great. This is not the Daniil Medvedev we're used to, but he's shown that he's able to come back and show how great of a player he is. And I think he could take a lot of good things from this tournament. And I think he's the biggest winner. He has a lot to take away from this tournament and to propel him into great results in this season. He's my biggest winner.
Yeah, he looks like he's trending up.
When someone like Mehdi, though, when he hasn't had the best results, you need to, when you have a good week like this, you need to take all those positives and keep them in a bag and just try to propel yourself forward and gain some confidence. So I think you have a very good point, Daniil Medvedev. I think he should move on to Miami with a lot more confidence.
Yeah, you should be happy.
Yeah.
Who's your winner? Who's your biggest winner, Yusuf?
Well, I know today probably wasn't the best of days for my man, but Holger Rune, I'm going to go. I know maybe if you look at the final, it wasn't the best. Actually, it wasn't even. It was probably his worst performance
Of the tournament,
of
probably.
the tournament.
Yeah.
But Holger Rune, at the end of the day, you make it to a Masters 1000 final. That is an amazing week. That gives you loads of confidence. And you just talked about Daniil Medvedev moving on with confidence going forward. How about Holger Rune? Because he beat Daniil Medvedev in straight sets in the semis and went on to the final. Jack Draper is just playing lights out tennis at the moment. And it's just sometimes just not your day. But amazing week for Holger Rune. I think this is going to be a big week for him moving forward for confidence, because I think Holger Rune is a man who's capable of being in the top 10. He should be in the top 10 when he's at his best. He's on his way back. He's moving up the ranks. I see him back in the top 10 soon, and I think this week, at the end of the day, it's a positive week for him, and he is my biggest winner for things I expect a lot moving forward from him.
Yeah, I think he's trending definitely in the right direction.
Yeah.
I think the ultimate question, or what I personally, as a tennis fan and as a Holger fan, I want to see Holger play more aggressive tennis, attacking tennis. Like when we saw that magical run in Paris, when we saw him have one of the most epic title runs we've ever seen.
Yeah.
He played aggressive. He was moving forward. He was being brave and bold. Definitely he didn't show that today. I'm going to put that probably to nerves or, whatever.
Sometimes just not your day.
Yeah, sometimes not your day, but
there were.
I think also probably he was missing a bit, so he then shied away from going that aggressive. But I want to see that style because it was magical tennis when he did, and it was amazing.
He can hit rockets off both sides.
There was a couple of points today in that first set when he decided to just lock in on the forehand. He was whacking, it was crushing it. Yeah. They were haymakers, and he has big tennis.
Yeah,
he just doesn't always, because he defends so well. And because he's so fit,
and he
doesn't have to play that way.
It's successful though.
It's successful, so
to a certain point.
Yeah, so I guess when he plays in these big guys, the guys with firepower, Jack Draper took it to him. So he's gonna have to probably adjust and play more aggressive. And I want to see that. And if he can find the right timing of when to tap into that, there's no limit to Holger's game. He's super talented. He has everything.
Yeah.
I also want to say one
up
point.
And up from here.
I want to say one point. I just feel like Holger is at a better place mentally. I don't know if you guys also felt that the way he takes it.
Which
is why I'm high on him, which is why I keep talking about him, and I want to give him his props.
He said he's feeling good.
He's relaxed, and when he talks about tennis, he feel like he's having fun. Interviews and stuff like that, and press conferences, feel like he's enjoying the tennis and he's having fun, and yeah, it's nice to root for him. Also, it's like he's like at a good place. It's good stuff.
I'm a big fan of Holger Rune.
Yeah, me too. Let's hope he gets back to his best tennis.
Smile, who's yours?
I'm gonna have honorable mention here for Artur Fils. Because first of all, I love that Daniil Medvedev match. It was
an
a
amazing
great match. It was probably the match of the tournament, I would say.
I do have to say I wanted Medvedev to win so bad.
So
bad.
We want him to get back in form, but Artur, I was really impressed with how solid he was the entire match. He was mentally composed. He took it to the final set tiebreaker, which it came down to a couple of lucky, instances there as well, and it could have gone either way. But he was solid. He played a very diverse game. He was slicing a lot. He was bringing Medvedev to the net. He integrated the drop shot. He was crushing his forehand. He has big tennis, Artur, when he is on his game, and so and he moves really well. So I think also Fils is a player trending in the right direction. That was a big match. That was a big match from him.
That's also a big heartbreak.
A big heartbreak, but I think he should take away positives from that. Yeah. He should, yeah. So I'm excited to see.
It's going to be a bit tough, though.
Let's see. When Tsitsipas lost to Hamad, and then he came back next tournament and had an epic run.
True.
So sometimes these heartbreaking losses, they also work the other way.
Yeah. You can only go up from there.
Yeah.
Well, also, one last thing we have to say about Artur Fils. He's the first player from players born in 2004 to make it to the quarterfinals of a Masters event. So so he's leading his generation. Jakub Menchik is born in 2005 and did already make it. But for the 2004 guys, Artur Fils is the pioneer.
There we go.
Good stuff for Artur. Well, we need more good players, and he's an exciting player as well. So he deserves it. Well deserved for him. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Dudes, cool dude moment of the week.
Oh my God, so much energy in this return. I love it for my story, Rog. Oh my God.
Take it away, Smile. Do you have a cool dude moment for us?
Well, you know, I'm starting to become dangerously obsessed with Mira Andreeva. But you might have seen in the Iga Swiatek match, they zoomed in on her in a changeover, and the wind was blowing really hard, so we could see what she was looking at. She was looking at her notebook,
That was so
and
cool.
she had notes on every
You could see
player.
the names. You
Yeah,
could see the names.
you could see the notes they had on every player. She had notes for Swiatek, she had notes for Rebekina,
Svitolina.
and then she and for Svitolina, and then after the match, she talked about how she has 2 pages of notes for each player, and how she was revisiting her notes mid-match to remember of what it took to play them last time, and because she beat them last time she played them, and so
What a mature player.
what a mature player, and also a reminder that, you know, when you're in a tennis match, you don't have to remember everything by heart. Like, you can take out your notes and look at what you have done and give yourself.
Naomi Osaka's been doing that.
Yeah,
She
and
takes
Serena
our
was
notes.
doing it long before. Like, just remind yourself of what you need to do to execute, and shows you how mentally mature and present she is in the match. Amazing. I'm fascinated by this girl.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was awesome.
Anything else? Harun, do you have one?
Yeah, it's also super cool. Like, she did it also again this tournament where she's thanking herself. I would like to thank myself for believing in myself. That's just it's cool.
She's just gonna keep doing it. I think we're gonna hear many times this year because this young woman is not gonna stop.
Just pure charisma. She just oozes charisma.
Yeah, it's
What if Djokovic and Murray decide to end that partnership, and then she has her idol Andy Murray also in that corner with Conchita Martinez? It would be just an all-star cast.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see.
Also, what if Rublev retires and becomes her coach because she loves Rublev as well? So now we're just max fantasy.
It would be
Well,
interesting
yeah.
to see Rublev as a coach.
By the way, Rublev is playing mixed doubles this week, and he had an amazing forehand that no one talked about when he was it was cross court, and he went all the way to the other side, and he hit a forehand on top of his head and went over the 2 players at the net and hit in the corner, and I think it was one of the craziest shots I've seen, and no one talked about because it was mixed doubles. But
Not many people.
yeah, maybe if we find that, we'll try to put this in the episode. But that was awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Spicy, no spicy.
A little bit spicy. Sorry, not as spicy at all.
We had some spicy moments this week. Yusuf, take it away. What's our spicy, no spicy moment of the week?
You know, this player, as much as I respect her and admire what she's done, she gets on my nerves. and I apologize. But she gets on my nerves. And that is Iga Swiatek. And, you know, sometimes there are things when I'm watching tennis matches, and I like to see the classy stuff. I know I like to see other things too, the spiciness, but I like to see classy approach, and especially when you're dealing with the ball kids.
Yeah.
And
100%.
Iga Swiatek, as much as angry as you want to get, and we're going to put the video here, and the ball kid was giving her the ball, and then she basically and she was angry, and she was looking at her box, and she smacked the ball with her racket, and it did not hit the ball kid, but it passed right by him or her. I don't remember exactly.
It's a him. It's a
but
ball-
and
ball-
it,
ball
pa-
player.
it, pa- it passed right by him, and I did not like that whatsoever, and that's not something we should expect from someone like Iga Swiatek, who is a multiple Grand Slam champion, legend in the game. And, you know, sometimes she has these antics, and they're different ways, whether it's handshakes, whether it's raising the racket when even though you're supposed to be playing at the pace of the server. So many different things, and I'm sorry I'm maybe getting a few more things off my chest at the moment. But that was one of those things, like, actually, how about we hold Iga Swiatek accountable for something like that? Because that's unacceptable, and that should not happen. And to me, I did not like it whatsoever, but these are a few things that Iga Swiatek does that honestly get on my nerves.
Yeah, to be honest, I think none of us really like to see that. And
No.
and the first angle I saw it from, I was actually worried for the ball kid. I thought the ball was going to hit the ball kid. So I definitely didn't like that. You never want to see that.
There
from
was
our
no
number-
regard for the kid.
Yeah.
There was no regard for the kid.
I can't recall any top champions, legends of the game disrespecting the ball kids. Like, you can smack a ball out of the court, smash your racket, but like, you have to respect the ball kids. They're here just to support you in the tournament. They're oftentimes fans of you, and so
big fans of you.
And so it wasn't nice to see it all, even if you are upset at your box. Add to that, there was the moment also in the tournament when there was the drop shot that had a double bounce back that she played it as if it was
acted like it was nothing.
So there are sportsmanship questions.
You know, it's tough sometimes to say to give Iga the benefit of the doubt.
Especially,
especially
since she's supposed to be like a Rafa descendant or something like that. So.
Yeah, exactly. Rafa is the classiest human being we have in tennis, and the most is there anyone more honest than Rafa when he plays? And he only wins the right way. You never can talk about Rafa cheating, doing any sneaky tricks. Iga,
she's
on the other hand,
she's a gamer. She uses gamesmanship often, but I tell you, those 2 moments in Indian Wells lost her a lot of fans. That was not classy sportsmanship from Iga, and I hope she cleans that out.
And I want to know, because obviously there are Iga fans out there bigger. I like Iga. Am I the biggest fan of her? No. Do I respect her? 100%. How do you guys see this as big Iga fans? Is this something that, what is the reasoning behind why you would give her the benefit of the doubt in these scenarios?
You know,
I need someone to tell me, because no one has been able to tell me.
Well, I'll tell you, my understanding is that I think that the doping thing has really affected her mental. And
what's that have to do with
she's been in horrible form since basically the doping case.
Yeah. Does that affect sportsmanship? Does that affect?
It has. For her, it has been. Yeah, but for her,
that racket up has been there for a long time.
It has been, but she's been worse, I think, mentally. And honestly, I've been gaining a lot of respect for Yannick in terms of how well he handled his whole fiasco compared to her.
Yes.
And maybe it says something.
And he
about
had
also,
it worse, 10,000 times worse.
Yeah, way, way worse. And people were always
Yannick,
swearing
by the
at
way,
him on
I
the
miss
daily.
Yannick Sinner, huh? I miss
We
Yannick.
miss him so much.
I miss Yannick Sinner.
We miss Yannick. We were supposed to have Yannick Carlos in these finals. It would have been all so fun. Or at least in the semis, you never like.
Disrespecting my boys, Jack Draper and Ben Shelton.
Yeah.
No disrespect intended, because I loved what Jack and Holger did. No disrespect at all.
Okay.
It was still a fun, but just we miss Yannick.
Anything to add? You guys done? Let's move on. Go ahead.
These things, like, you know, when somebody gets angry or stuff like that and they express their anger in different ways, I always like to give the benefit of the doubt. So, like, everybody's human. You know, that's something that people hate on for Djokovic, because, Djokovic breaks his racket or whatever. I always never had a problem with that, because if you ever try to play tennis or sports or anything in your life that has to do with, you know, some emotions that come into play, then you would understand completely that feeling of sometimes you're just super frustrated. You want to break a racket, or you want to hit a ball or whatever. When I see people break their rackets, it doesn't affect me at all. I feel like that's fine. Somebody's just...
Where's the connection to what we're talking about? She wasn't breaking rackets.
But then when somebody comes to slap a ball, at somebody's general direction that could injure another person, like when you hit the racket on the ground, that's just only breaking the racket and just only you in your personal space. But the ball, I don't like that. I don't like that stuff, and that to me turns me off a lot, and that's like a big no-no. So I don't like that stuff, and to me that's bad. Rather than she just break 10 of her rackets, then injuring somebody else. That's so it.
True. I agree. Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
And this is probably my favorite segment, and I love it so much. We have some more for you guys. It's overreactions or not. So I'm going to tell you guys a statement based on what we saw in Indian Wells, and you guys let me know, is it not an overreaction? First up, we're going to start with the one and only. Jack Draper is world #1 potential. Smile, overreaction or not?
Oh my God, it's huge. That's a huge overreaction.
Oh really?
No, I mean, wow. I don't think it's wrong. But I think it's a huge thing to say, because he's just now entering the top 10. But
that's
call me crazy. I think he can do it.
He has the potential.
I think he can do it.
So it's not an overreaction.
I know. I don't think it's overreaction. He has the game. He has the firepower. I love his mental. He's a big dude. He's showed he can be clutch. I love what I saw today. Yes, sign me up for the Jack Draper will eventually become world number 1 train.
Haroon, do we need
That
to
is-
ask you?
That is not an overreaction at all. Listen, by the way, if you go back in history of tennis and look at all the great world number 1 players, you would see that they have to be also great grass court players and also great hard court
Yes.
players. So, and he
Yes.
is a great grass court player, and he's going to pick up a lot of points there, and he's going to be able to dominate there as well. And his game transfers very well on clay. So he's a very dynamic player, and he's very
We still
talented.
don't know the clay, but
We'll see the clay. I'm predicting that he's going to be able to be great on clay, but he has a great potential. And this is still like he's still changing and forming his game. This is not his complete game yet, and he's still like on the up and up as well. And he's already 7, and he has so much potential ahead of him. And we were talking about Fonseca being potential to be world number 1 for what he did with the Rublev and all the other stuff. Jack Draper he has even higher potential, I feel.
Okay, second, I have for you guys an interesting one. We just talked about her. Iga Swiatek won't win a big title this year. Smile, overreaction or not?
oh my God. It's so tough, this one, because we're about to head to the clay.
Yeah.
And she's dominant on a clay. She
Yeah.
owns Roland Garros.
But
as
you
well.
said she's had mental issues since the doping thing.
Yeah.
She hasn't won since then.
Yeah, she has not.
Give me something.
Yeah, no, it's not an overreaction.
Oh!
She won't win a big title this year.
Oh, wow. Haroon.
No, it's a bit of.
Can I just say won't win a big title on clay? Can I predict for the clay?
Nope. That's
it
the
the
game.
entire year?
That's the game. That's the game.
It's so hard to say the entire year, but
Yeah, it is.
okay, let me be the one that steps out here. On
Okay, so you're saying it's not an overreaction.
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
Just because of
No,
I
man,
think the
no,
doping
man.
thing
It's
is really
it's an
affects me.
overreaction. There are a lot of tournaments on clay. Like she's a great clay court. She'll pick up something.
Yusuf,
No, I think it's an overreaction.
you guys are baiting me.
I'm sorry.
You're baiting me.
I'm sorry. You said we're moving on to the clay.
Yeah.
And the clay, she is the queen of Roland Garros, and she is the queen of clay. So she might not win, but she's gonna get one eventually.
My justification is that the clay is so soon, so
Yeah.
maybe the mental lapse
Maybe.
will last for that just short
How
period.
about this? I'm gonna say it's not an overreaction, but let me add on a nugget. If she doesn't win one within the clay swing, she won't win one in 2025.
Conditions. So how can you get to have
No,
conditions?
they're not conditions. I'm saying it's not. I'm saying it's an overreaction. Okay.
That's a wild. I'm going on a wild prediction here, but let me stay with it. Just for fun.
It's fun. It's
It's
fun.
fun.
You guys let us know in the comments also. So next up, Holger Rune will win a big title this year. Haroon, yes or no? Overreaction or not?
No, not an overreaction. He is going to win a big title this year. He's already.
Love
so
to
close.
hear it.
He's already so close.
Smile, how about you?
I don't think he's ready yet.
What?
I think.
Man was in the Indian Wells final.
Yeah, he was in the final. I want to see him play more aggressive. I'm stuck in this view that I see him not playing aggressive, and he's lucky now that there's no sinners. Zverev's out of form, Djokovic now out of form.
Yeah, so why won't it happen?
So, because when they come, he needs to win a title now. If he's going to win a big title now, and when these guys come back in, it's going to be so hard, and he needs to unlock the aggressive game to be able to do it. This year, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
So overreaction.
Overreaction. I with a heavy heart, because I really like Holger, but with a heavy heart, I say I don't think yet.
Okay, you're on an island this segment, huh?
You guys are just baiting me all
No,
day.
wait, I might be biased. I have my heart eyes for Holger Rune at the moment. I say yes. This is not an overreaction. He wins. I don't think one. I think a few. How about that?
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Let me be clear. I would love to see that.
I think everyone would love to see it. But I say it's going to happen. You say it's not.
He's capable. I haven't seen the aggressive tennis that he's capable of yet back. I haven't seen it back.
It was there. He beat Medvedev in straight sets, and I think that was a really good match, a really good win. And Jack Draper don't take away from Holger Rune just because you've seen amazing things from Jack Draper this tournament. True. Anyways, last one. This one. Well, by the way, we had a debate for a few minutes. Should we do this or should we not do this? And I decided we shall do this. Haroon, listen up, my friends. Taylor Fritz will leave the top 10 by the end of the year. Overreaction or not?
Come on, man. Come on. It's ludicrous to even say that out loud. Like, come on, man. This is massive
Why?
disrespect to Taylor Fritz. Massive disrespect. Come on. This dude's a beast. Come on. No, he's not going to leave top 10. Overreaction. Massive overreaction. That's the biggest overreaction out of all of them, actually.
Huh?
I'm a fan of Taylor's game, and his method is improving every year. This has been a really slow start to this year. And he's going to have a lot of points to defend come the U.S. Open. I think he might do. I think he might leave it just because also there's a lot of firepower coming in.
Oh my god.
I'm on a line. Am I too emotional?
Not an overreaction.
It's not overreaction, even though I'm a big fan of Taylor, but I think he's underwhelming so far.
He has. I was singing his praises at the end of last season.
We were all worried.
Where is that Taylor Fritz? Where is he?
I don't know. So
my friend,
oh my god,
Harun, you're on the island for this
you're
one.
Joining me.
I'm joining you. But my question
what's in the world? You too?
Is Mehdi gonna leave before him? Yeah, is Mehdi gonna leave before him? Is Rublev gonna? There are guys that coming in. Holger's hungry. Draper's hungry.
We're in March.
Jack's coming.
We're in mid-March.
Yeah, we
Tommy
are.
Paul's coming.
Yeah, you know why? It makes sense. We're in March. But so many points to lose.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We have a long season ahead of him to lose points.
Not that much.
I don't know what's going on with Taylor Fritz at the moment. The different hairstyles haven't been a positive sign. He's losing to guys. I don't. Nope. Overreaction for me.
I expect him to have a dominant U.S. swing.
It did not happen. Lots of things that we expected did not happen.
He lost to Draper. He lost to Draper. Draper, like you said, playing lights out. So
that's true. That's
one tournament. Defense. I'm looking at all the tournaments we've seen up until this point.
Yeah.
That wraps up our overreactions or not segment. You guys let us know in the comments, please, who is on the right side in this segment.
Yeah.
That's that.
Well, outside of that, we've also had some other interesting tennis news happen.
Yeah.
And let me start with my boy.
Who's that?
Joao Fonseca, who has officially made his top 60 debut, ladies and gentlemen.
Go.
So he is no longer going to need nobody's wild cards. It's over. Those wild cards, you can take them.
Love it.
You can keep them. He's not going to need them ever again. He's going to be in every big tournament.
Love to hear
he just won the Challenger in Phoenix.
Can we actually call that like a 250 or a 500? Because that's not a challenger.
It was a beast.
That's
of
why
a
I said they're
tournament.
Bublik in the final, by the way.
And it was an epic final.
And Nishikori's in there, and Mute's in there, and Borges is in there, Struff was in there. How many guys are in there? Super good players.
It's a really impressive run. The only person that took a step off him was Struff. That's it.
Who I love.
Struff has a big game. He took out Jan Leonard, he took out Gaston, he took out Nishikori, and then Bublik, and then Kotov in round one also. It was an excellent run.
Amazing.
The thing about also this, what's impressive is that Joao's not just having deep runs. When he shows up to these tournaments now, the challengers, he takes them home. This is his third title of the year. His third title of the year. He won the one of the challengers in Australia, and then he took home Buenos Aires, and then now he's taking home Phoenix. He wins tournaments. And he's a tough out. I can't wait.
This is going to be fun. We're moving on to the clay. He loves the clay.
He loves the clay. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be so fun. And just if I want to spice things up a bit, Draper, did pound him in round one, but Draper went on to win the tournament, so he lost to Draper. Yeah. He lost to Mueller in Rio de Janeiro, who also went to the final. He's only losing to finalists here, my friends. So for the Joao fans,
he's still wowing.
He's still wowing.
Joaoing is wowing.
Joaoing is wowing.
I do have one, though, also interesting news I'd like to mention. And that is Sebastian Korda.
Yeah, where has he been?
He was lost in the sauce for a while. And this man, probably one of the craziest things, I think, in the tennis rankings is Sebastian Korda finds his way in, he moves up in the rankings, yet I don't even see him in the tournaments. He finds a way to stay inside the top 25, even though I haven't seen him in so long.
Yeah.
This man, he knows something we do not know about the rankings.
Which is why whenever you're talking about someone leaving the top 10, I'm always so hesitant because, all right, why would they leave the top 10 but Korda keeps moving up? I don't know.
Speaking of moving up, Novak Djokovic has moved up to the top 5, by the way.
Congrats, Novak.
Congrats, Novak.
Even though that was...
had a really disappointing Indian Wells, but he's up and he's moving up.
That's good news
Less
for us
is
because
more.
we wanted to
Less is
see
more.
him in the deeper in the draw. We don't want to see him end up getting a sinner in the round of 16 or this crap that we were seeing.
No, we do not. So Sebastian Corden made it to the finals in Indian Wells in doubles. So the man is talented, and hats off to him. He did lose in the final, him and Jordan Thompson, but well done to those two guys.
Man,
making it
one
that
of the
deep.
most talented players I've seen ever, and also one of the most talented backhands I've ever seen.
Is he? He's so smooth with it.
So smooth.
Yeah.
And
He's so
like
nice
this
with it.
effortless power. He's so nice.
He's so nice with it. But also, he's also one of those guys that we're going to say maybe the what if. I don't know.
No.
Is he
Too
gonna be
early.
one of those
Too
what
early.
if guys.
Too early. Too early.
I know too early, but come on,
2
Sebastian
years ago,
Corden, love this man.
2 years ago, Navratilova said he would win a slam.
Yeah.
I was a
way he
big
took
Korda
off
fan.
Mehdi.
I
Yeah.
love watching him play, and
He's still
I want to see more.
Not everybody has to
Beginning
be
of-
wow, sensational at 12. So everybody can have a normal career. You can have a career and win big tournaments throughout your career. It doesn't have to be. I'm not having money, girls, casino, like whatever. At the age of
He's
19.
also super young. He's still young. There's lots of time.
Big fans of him, and we want to see it happen.
Yeah.
Let's go, Sebi. Let's
Well,
go.
Yeah.
I
Arun,
also-
anything else?
Yeah, I also want to share some interesting news as well, which is Bublik. Alexander Bublik has the first time to win back-to-back wins since Wimbledon last year. And he had a nice, run this tournament. He faced...
First time to win back-to-back wins since Wimbledon last year.
That's insane. That
That's,
makes no sense.
He faced your boy...
For a player of
Joao-
his caliber, it
Joao
makes no
in the
sense.
final of that challenger in Phoenix. And he had some also feisty moments with Mute in one of his matches.
I loved it, by the
So
way.
I'm not ready. He said, I don't care.
I love that feistiness, by the way. And they had an interaction after, and Bublik's telling him, like, you want to fight? You want to go outside? And
10 minutes. He's like,
Love
10
it,
minutes, we
love
go
it.
outside. You want to meet in 10 minutes outside? Let's meet in 10 minutes outside then.
Booby's hilarious. He's hilarious.
If you give me a budget and you tell me let's make a reality show about players on the ATP tour, it's Corentin Moutet and Alexander Bublik. How about
Yeah,
that?
I wouldn't have expected them to fight each other, though. Maybe
No,
they-
you would though.
Yeah, you would, but also maybe I thought that either they joke with each other or it's going to be a fight.
I know you're like super. I don't know, just the cool. I'm not gonna go deep into that.
Bublik's just...
But yeah, that was nice.
But Bublik, he doesn't want to handle all that fuss. He's he wants to cut through that fat. You can't handle the smoke. Let's go. Like you just shut up if you're not ready to handle that smoke. And he wasn't. He wasn't taking any of that. But yeah, congrats to Bublik.
Well, he knows Mute's also gaming him, so he's also gaming.
He's trying
back.
to do the Iga Swiatek.
Yeah.
Congrats
that's
to
hilarious.
But yeah, congrats to Bublik for having a back-to-back wins. He had some nice wins. He also beat Borges on the way as well to that final. And Borges was on a 12-game winning streak in Phoenix. So that was he was the number 1 seed. So that was it was a good win as well for Bublik.
Love it for Bublik. Love
Nice
him.
to see from Booby.
Yeah, let's keep moving up, man.
Let's keep it going. Guys, we like to keep it honest and transparent here and tell you where we were right and where we were wrong, where we were right and we were not right anywhere. None of our picks were correct. Where we were wrong.
What's going on though? Like,
It was not good. Me and you, Yusuf, we had Alcaraz. That missed. And Harun, you had your big prediction, Ben Shelton.
I'm trying, by the way.
We
I'm
all lost
trying
to Draper, though. We all lost to Draper. So credit to him. On the women's side, Yusuf, you had Osaka. She was unlucky.
That was she had a good run though, huh?
Yeah.
That first round lost.
That first round complete miss. I had Maddie Keys. We lost her in the semi. Harun, you had Goff. She did not do much there. So hopefully we have a chance next week to maybe do better.
Yes, let's see. Well, we do have the Sunshine Double continues. We are moving on to Miami. Head to the beaches. Head to the nice palm trees in the sunlight. We're going to continue this amazing, amazing swing. It's going to end by March 30. So I need to ask you guys, A chance to make up for your mistakes. Ismail, who do you have winning Miami on the men's side?
I'm going to have to go with this guy because he's the one I trust the most. He always does well down in the Sunshine Double. Give me Carlitos here to take Miami and make up for
Doubling down
on Carlitos.
Harun, who are you taking?
I'm going for Jack Draper. I believe Jack Draper is going to do. He's
Jack
unlocked.
Draper to take home the Sunshine Double.
He
Jackie
unlocked it, man.
Drapes,
He
big.
unlocked it. He's going to ball out.
Ooh. That'll be fun.
That's a quick turnaround, but
Yusuf?
maybe so. I look at the approach I'm taking this week is Revenge Week. And I think Carlos Alcaraz is going to take some revenge. He said that was one of the worst losses he felt, and it felt he was in pain. He wins it this week.
Let's see. Let's go Carlitos.
On the women's side, who wins Miami, Smite?
Let me ride with the rising superstar. Let's go back to back titles here. Let me go with Mira Andreeva.
Mira Andreeva wins the Sunshine Double. So we have
17-year-old.
Ismail on the Harun on the guys saying Draper wins the Sunshine Double. You say Mira Andreeva wins the Sunshine Double.
Let's go Mira.
Interesting,
Let's go Mira.
interesting picks.
Let's go Mira.
Harun, are you taking the same?
No, I'm not going for Mira Andreeva though. I think that her luck is gonna run out. I don't think she's gonna win back to back WTA Masters 1000 titles. I feel like no. I'm gonna go with
Who's winning it?
Sabalenka on this one. I'm gonna have to go with Sabalenka.
Okay.
I think only
Yeah.
great players win these types of tournaments, so I'm gonna have to go with Sabalenka.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Yusuf.
I told you guys it's revenge week, didn't I? And I think Sabalenka takes revenge this week. And this woman is
So you're
finally
going
going to win a
double
big
revenge.
title this year.
You're going.
Yeah,
double
I'm going.
revenge.
I told you it's revenge week, man. I told you it's revenge week. I'm going with Carlitos. I'm going with Sabalenka. That's how this week goes. Book it. Don't book it because I'm an offer.
Yeah, that's gonna be. It's probably the kiss of death. We're gonna lose Carlitos and Sabalenka.
When I
was
say
this
book it,
close,
you
by
know
the
it's
way,
not
to
happening.
go for Rebekina because she's back-to-back finalist as well, runner-up. I was like, it's third time's a charm, but I don't think Rebekina's in form.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up our show for the week. Subscribe and follow us here every week for everything happening in the tennis world. And let us know what you think about our takes.
See you
And
guys
let's
next
see you
week.
next week.
Have a good night. Good night. Good night. Very good night.